enjoy the drive.
Go with another one, I think. It's pretty good. Ball is really good. Liking this one so far.
Yes. So far so good. Do you think it has more length or anything? I don't know, I guess just like more length than what you were expecting out of the ball based on its numbers?
It's actually pretty close to what I was expecting. It's got the same cover that the dark code had on it, so I threw a couple different dark codes when they were out back in the day, and I liked them. I liked that ball pretty good. I thought it was had a really strong curl cover to it, so a lot more smoother of a type of cover. This one's a little quicker than the dark code was, so that was a little bit of a surprise. So I can actually use this one going further left a lot more than I could with the dark code, so that's the biggest difference I've seen. Those two shots are about as like airmail difference as they get. But we can see that ball, the first shot, you can see it really read in the oil pretty good, and that one we made sure we got it there, got our hand a little more around it, and really recovered off it well. It tried to leave like a half 10, but we got it out. Like I say, I mean, I've thrown this ball for about a week now, and every time I throw it, I get really impressed by it. I really like the way it shapes. I like the way it continues to the pins. It continues really well for an asymmetric bowling ball. That's a little bit of an underrated part of the ball. It doesn't seem to really go forward as much as most asymmetrics can get to. All right, can't get it that far right.
That almost made it though.
Almost. I'm trying to show how much this ball can recover, and considering how strong the core is in that ball and is still able to almost get to the hole from there, it's a really good sign. This ball is really good. Ball is good. Ball is very good. Man, oh man. Yeah, this is a piece that's definitely gonna be in my bag for sure. All right.
Oh, you know what we get to do, baby.
Okay.
You know what we get to do? He's got a 710 pocket 710. Does he pick it up?
He's faring this one. He was too close last time. I'm with him. I think it's time.
All right.
Out!
I wanted to get out so bad. Yeah, you can kind of see it there, like playing a little straighter, a little roll of your hand, a little bit more speed. Ball's a little sharp off the break. So this wouldn't be the optimal time to throw it. If you had a little more surface on it, probably be a little bit better. If I had like about 2,000 on it, probably be ideal for this lane. But right now they're ideal for the other pair. So much rather have it for a nice little progression, whereas opposed to the Eternity Pi will probably be a lot better on lane 3 than it would be on lane 2. So we're going to compare it with two different balls. So we're going to use the Infinite Physics and we're going to use an Exotic Gem to compare it to the Virtual Energy Blackout. Chose this ball because this was a staple in my ball for staple in my bag, I should say, for a long period of time. It's a lot smoother to me than the Virtual Energy Blackout is. Could be a bit about with the cover stock being a little bit duller, but they both have the same cover stock, so thought it'd be a good idea to showcase these two comparatively. So pretty close, like in the grand scheme of things, you can see the similarities as the ball's going down lane, but a lot more forward down lane.
Yeah.
A lot more going this way. That's why I kind of had the half 10, kicked it out, thankfully. All right, so now we've got the Exotic Gem we'll compare it to. This ball should be a little bit cleaner, a little bit flippier in the back than what the Virtual Energy Blackout was. Say about a couple feet longer, probably a couple feet. I mean, that was a little bit me trying to make sure I got it. So yeah, about a couple feet longer and a little bit flippier in the back for sure. Yeah, that ball is the 9 for sure. You haven't got one yet? This would be a piece to add to the bag for sure. If you need a strong pearl, something kind of like on a little bit on the smoother side for a pearl ball, this would be the one for you for sure.
Boom.
Jesus.
I don't think it matters what ball you're throwing. You know, you're him. You know.
I got him pretty locked in right now. Maybe I just need to drill a new ball for every week, and maybe I'll shoot an underscore every week.
Sounds like something Storm should do for you.
Like, hey, can we work something out, guys? Now that they're a little blended, this ball actually looks a lot better than when we threw it earlier in the pink slip video, where it got a little sideways because they were just so clean down lane. Now that there's a little carry down, it's not so sharp off the spot. Like I thought with this bowling ball, I think it's kind of that step down from the Eternity for me. I just get that hit every time we're on camera. Like, I feel like I get that 6-pin ball hit just so much.
Nasty.
We're gonna go to the clone, one right in comparison. Should be a little sharper, a little earlier. Exactly what I thought. As you can see, the comparison between the Virtual Energy and the clone's just a little bit sooner just because it's solid. Even with the shine, it still just wants to read the lane a little bit sooner and just be a little sharper. So now we're gonna bring out what I think is the most important part of this comparison video. We're gonna look at the Quantum Evo response in comparison to this Virtual Energy. I think these two are going to be the #1 and #2 selling asymmetrical pearls on the market for probably about the next 6 months. Let's see what they look like together. We'll throw one more and then we'll talk about it.
That hit so good. It looked like 2 sets of pins just went.
Yeah, everything just kind of went that way.
Yes.
That was perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see and exactly what I wanted to talk about. So, what you can see between the two is the Virtual Energy Blackout is definitely longer down the lane in comparison to this new Quantum Evo response. The Quantum is just a little bit sooner. I think they jerk when they see the friction about as hard in comparison to each other. The Quantum is just a little bit earlier. I think this hook potential's realistically about the same. It just depends upon what you're looking for. I think if you really like to open up the lane and see your ball get down the lane a little bit better, you're gonna lean on something much more like the Virtual Energy. And if you like to play a little bit straighter, you need a little bit help to get it to kind of curve on kind of the trickier patterns or just house in general, you may look more towards like an Evo response. But this Virtual Energy is really, really good. I'm starting to see a lot more value of it now that the lane is transitioning in comparison to bowling on the fresh, to where I think I'll actually get some use out of it. I just got to see the lane break down. So when I tear them apart with the Eternity, I got a perfect ball down.
That's right.
I'll give this ball, let's say it's pretty fire. I'm gonna throw a little bit more. Hopefully I burn them up enough in league this week where I can actually ball change, and I think this will be the perfect step down.
Dude, that's 3 left of that.
Why did you bring the clone to compare to the Blackout?
Asymmetric, and I know it's technically the clone is a solid, but I have mine kind of shiny, so kind of comparison to see where it would fit into the bag and with that.
Sure. Do you think that ball reminds you of anything specific? I know Kyle had briefly mentioned the dark code, and I mean, it certainly looks like it, but do you think it reacts similar to that?
For me, the dark code got pretty forward, so it just didn't go left to right as easily as I would expect those kind of balls. But this one definitely seems like it retains.
Retains. No, it's okay. It's just
it retains more energy, so it definitely goes through the pins a little bit better and a little easier to go left to right with.
So you think it knocks out the corner pins a little bit better?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely. finally burned up.
So now you think you were out of bounds there, or not out of bounds, just in a tougher spot to strike.
Yeah, I just got it too much into the puddle, so it didn't have enough friction to go through the pins the right way there.
Sure. Mark, you see yourself using this on more tournaments, or or just any place that the lanes break down that you can throw this?
Yeah, definitely like the fresh on house. I'll definitely see myself throwing this. And then once the longer tournament patterns, once they break down a little bit, I can move left and open up the lane definitely a lot more with this. And anytime you can see a solid black ball go down the lane, way easier to read ball reaction in my opinion. So if I can throw a black ball down the lane, I'm probably gonna do that. My final thoughts on this one's probably gonna end up for me in the fire range, fire to end your summer out. Almost came to that nut range, but in the friction it was just a little bit too early for me to open it up. So have fun.